go.
Crash and flow.
Every so often, it blows up to a point where it would just erase America.
I think it's not the geyser. I think Yellowstone is a volcano.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But that would be also a secondary. I'm like, what? Geysers can kill us now? But,
yeah, just steam your face off.
No, Yellowstone itself is a crater.
Okay.
From like when the Corps wanted to uppercut, like Falcon Punch. I don't know what the Corps was doing on a bad day.
Hadouken!
So the one I listened to on this podcast was the core, the molten, the lava core, the hot core.
Yeah.
It's spinning one way.
Mm-hmm.
And that, makes the earth spin.
Yeah.
And then water also uses that, and air moves because all of this.
Yeah.
And then after so many thousands of millions of spins, it stops and starts spinning
the other way. Which then reverse the poles, right?
What that does is, reverse the poles, but that takes about 6 days.
Yeah.
During which the earth stands still.
It doesn't spin?
Because it's got to undo this.
Yeah.
But what does keep going is the water and the air for a bit, because it's going at...
So the water just sloshes right over all Earth.
All of it.
All
of it, because it's basically, as you can imagine, somebody running and stopping all of a sudden, right? Holding a cup of water.
Right.
And then a city right in front of them. So, and during that time, the earth gets super hot on that side.
Right.
And then it starts moving a different way, which also causes all sorts of issues when the... what were you saying?
What?
The polar...
Oh, when the polarity of the Earth switched.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, all that stuff happened.
Up is down, down is up.
And
like the needle points south now as opposed to north.
The asshole on this podcast to really scare you was like, well, that's what the Bible says. And you're like, what? He's like, it takes 6 days, and on the 7th day, God rested. I was like, oh man, don't do this.
This is lining up too well.
Yeah. And when they started making religious connections, I'm like, I'm stopping here.
It feels more.
Now it seems like it's happening. He's like, well, this one, according to the Mayans, we're actually due for this. And
you know what else was scary, right? Another one of the late late signs of the Day of Judgment. The statement is the Day of Judgment won't happen until Mecca is meadows and greenery again.
Okay.
And just recently there's pictures of various places right off the outskirts of Mecca, I believe.
Yeah.
That now has like just grass growing and trees and stuff.
I gotta look into that myself.
You know who covered it? Ibrahim Hindi did.
Yeah, but if somebody's out there throwing some fertilizer and some seeds just to screw with us.
Yeah, we've seen Dubai. We've seen Abu Dhabi. All of it is green and it's not supposed to be.
Yeah. So like
fair enough.
But if that's what they were pointing out, they're like, that's what we mean. Fake stuff. We're like, oh, man.
It is it almost feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, that was a thing back then. People would if there was a prophecy, they were like, I'm going to go fulfill this.
Okay, well, these are the wrong ones to get. The other one was when Bedouins, it was like desert people and Bedouins will compete for the biggest structure. And like... That's also I think in the Sunnah, or I forget if it's in the Quran or if it's in the Sunnah, but it's listed as one of the signs of the Day of Judgment.
Really?
And all of these Arab countries,
they wouldn't? Yeah,
all of these Arab countries are like, biggest building, we're doing it, doing it.
So like it was like prophesized that like what we think of you guys when you guys start making buildings, it's over.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I feel bad. How do you feel reading that as a Bedouin?
No. It's more of like competing with each other for creating these structures. Yeah. And it is all like it is all show offy.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and everything else is like it's very much a show off type situation.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Well, they have the world's biggest, dude.
They have the world's biggest everything.
But how long have they had the world's biggest? Because I think at that point.
What
I'm saying is, it's scary.
It's happening.
Yeah.
One way or another, it's on its way. Whoopsies. Let's see. All right. So this was a question that was floating around the internet. All right. This is on brand for us. Would you rather be trapped in a mall for 24 hours with 1 silverback gorilla or 5 black mamba snakes?
Ooh, that's easy, right?
I think it's very easy. But you go ahead and tell me what your answer is. I'll tell you mine.
So definitely way more fun with a gorilla.
Way more fun.
Way more fun?
Yeah.
Which mall? Like, let's just pick a mall, just like a square one, right?
No, square one's too big.
Okay, so like an Aaron Mills?
Yeah.
I'm not going to South Common.
Yeah.
Any mall
yeah,
with
yeah.
a bus terminal, I'm not doing it. Right?
Well,
I'm
they
doing
all
better
have-
than that.
They all have bus terminals.
Shut up. All right.
Where
you're right.
there's,
They all have
there's
it.
plenty of stabbings that
All right,
happen.
so Aaron Mills.
Yeah, Aaron Mills.
Mississauga Aaron Mills Mall.
Yeah.
Good mall. You know what? Bring on the gorilla, bro.
You are
Yeah.
going with the gorilla.
Yeah.
Just for the story.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck the gorilla. That's why.
I'm going black mamba spiders.
Really?
I mean, snakes.
Whoa,
5 of
I
them.
was like, dude, were you kidding me? These spiders?
Because look,
so where
listen.
are you hanging out then?
Listen.
Because this is you're more of a. I feel like
Okay,
you're
so,
not adventurous. Because you're like, I'll just stand here.
So this is exactly what it is. In Aaron Mills, is the food court has a couple. It's like a double layer food court, and I think there's a staircase that kind of it's kind of in the middle of the mall.
Okay.
Right. I'll just stand on the landing,
Right.
and I can see the snakes come.
How long are you there for? What was the thing?
I
One
don't
day?
know. There was, I think 1 day.
1 day.
I don't know if there was a time constraint on that. Yeah, 24 hours.
24 hours, right? Okay,
24.
so you're gonna have to almost sleep.
Oh yeah, I didn't
So
consider
yeah,
that.
let's think about
Didn't
that.
consider that. All right, here's another thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still with snakes though.
I think you're still with snakes.
I'm
I
still
don't
with
see
snakes.
why. I don't know why I'm with a gorilla.
I'm still with snakes. Okay. Snakes, and then you go and find a store that's selling tents,
Okay.
right? And then you put a tent. Get the biggest tent.
Mm-hmm.
You open that up and you pitch the tent.
What's the dimension of the snake, by the way? Okay, tell me the snake. I'll look it up while you tell me.
Black mamba.
Black
snake.
mamba. All right. Cool.
Okay. It's more specifically around the fact that its bite is lethal. It's not a boa constrictor.
Yeah, it's not like a large snake.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Right. Look, because the gorilla, you don't stand a chance physically against a gorilla.
Why
if
do
he
you
finds
think-
you, you're done.
Why do you think it's mad at me?
What? Yeah,
Huh?
that was the guy. The
Maybe-
other question was like, is the gorilla upset at me?
Yeah, is the gorilla ill-tempered?
Here, listen. Even if it's a neutral situation, right?
It's a neutral gorilla.
It's a neutral gorilla and it's a neutral snakes. Snakes don't want anything to do with you.
It's a 2.5 meter long.
It's
snake.
a respectable snake.
This is a 14-foot snake.
This is what
for a male.
Kobe named after himself.
Right.
Its mouth is black like death.
This is a scary looking animal, dude. This
Yeah.
is not a. Look at this awesome picture for scale. Like, there's 5 of those. If they somehow communicate,
Yeah, we're Dunsky.
dude. Heat radar
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If they-
Infrared on their tongues, I think.
on there, they can smell you.
Yeah.
My gorilla is actually a vegetarian.
Yeah.
It's not looking for me for food.
But he's so territorial.
He doesn't want me around,
Yeah.
and but I don't think he has like.
if he sees you and it's only you
I
and
know,
him,
but I don't think he has like great hunting skills. They don't do that.
bro.
I know that's a pretty big leap, right? He looks like he does this for a living. He can switch gears in a millisecond. A gorilla looks like.
I don't think he needs to dig deep for him to find that gear.
Why do they have fangs? Why does
Right?
gorillas?
Why
have...
does he? He eats bananas. He's
Yeah.
eating bananas and things that
bamboo? Actually,
They eat only
yeah,
bamboo.
that's what they eat. That's the main diet.
No.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Gorillas only eat bamboo.
That's
You're
the
thinking
main-
pandas.
Can we Google that?
Of course we can Google it.
Who you calling, Priyanka?
Main diet gorilla silverback.
Any gorilla will do, boo.
I don't know. I just want to go vegetarian diet, feeding on stems, bamboo shoots, fruits. Western lowland gorillas, however, they have an appetite for termites, ants, and break open termite ants to eat the
Even
larvae.
more surprising.
Yeah,
They're eating termites and larvae. All right. So yeah, bamboo stems.
yeah.
That's how they. So that I don't think a gorilla like that is it's still a problem, right? It's,
Yeah.
it's as big of an animal, but I feel like
So I didn't finish.
I think I'm gonna die. Yeah,
For
you're
the
right.
snake.
Yeah.
For the snake, you get a big tent,
Okay.
and then within that big tent,
Mhm.
a smaller tent and a smaller tent.
Okay.
So you got like 3-layer tents,
Right.
right? And then you put that in somewhere in the middle
Mm-hmm.
of the thing underneath the sun, hopefully,
Okay.
right? Because I think that they want darker areas,
Sure.
right? And then that's how it is. So even if the snakes are actively looking for you,
Mhm.
they'd have to penetrate three tents to get to you.
Yeah, I think that's one of many options with snakes. It's kind of a limited animal.
Yeah. I wonder if they can swim, because I'd just go in a fountain. Do they have a fountain at Aaron Mills?
I think the snakes would be fine with like that much
Yeah,
water.
I think so,
you know?
right? Yeah.
I think they'd be fine. But there's like, generally, snakes are so limited,
Yeah.
right?
They
They would
would-
have to like, if you could see them climbing on something, you'd have
Yeah.
a stick, you
Yeah.
just knock them down.
Yeah, it's the sleep. It's
Yeah.
falling asleep is the issue.
I don't think you do.
I think you just
24 is 24.
24
You
hours,
could
yeah.
do. We've done it playing video games.
yeah,
as
that's true.
kids.
Yeah,
I do it.
And
As
we've done it during Ramadan.
Yeah. Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
we,
Sure.
we can do that.
Yeah, that's a question that maybe like
It's people who either overestimate their ability against a gorilla.
it's fun too.
Yeah,
For a second, it's like, you know what? I arm wrestle them for it.
yeah. Some of these questions are really great. There was another one I remember back in the day. It was a Reddit question, and it was
Would you fight a horse-sized duck or a duck-sized horse?
It's like if a snail.
Yeah.
A snail is always trying to touch you, trying to follow you and touch you.
Oh, is that right?
Right? And but you can live forever. I forgot what the trade-off was.
Okay.
But you can't kill the snail. It's
Right.
just constantly coming after you.
Okay.
Right?
It's like that movie.
And then what do you do for you to be able to maintain your life?
Can you just put the snail on your head and put on a hat?
No.
You're gonna live forever, homie.
Yeah, but if you're gonna sleep. No, if it touches you, you die.
Oh, why didn't you say that?
Yeah, sorry.
It's a freaking deadly.
I
snail.
forgot the stipulation, but I remember one guy wrote it, and it was like an essay on how well thought out it was, where he was like creating a spherical metallic enclosure,
Okay.
and like he went through all of the engineering and material steps for him to be able to do this. It was so in depth, right? It was definitely an engineer was bored at work.
Man, this is also like an indestructible snail.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you just put an air tag on that, and you walk away and live your life and never think about it again.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a little bit of a stress involved. Have you seen It Fall? No, of course you haven't seen it.
No, but like it's a snail, right? It follows as a woman, right? A
It
snail.
follows was just humans that walk only.
I could leave a snail here and go home and never think about it again. How long did it take you to get here?
Like 20 minutes.
How many times would the snail get,
Yeah.
Or like, put it, take it Niagara Falls.
It'll eventually just.
Yeah, but
There's
it
no
takes
terrain.
so long,
Yeah.
right? Basically, I need to decide when I'm moving and then start this game.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, you can Google how much a snail travels anyways. I don't know who wrote an essay.
You know what? The question wasn't fascinating. It was
Yeah.
the answer.
That
Right? It was the
inverse.
honest engineering effort for the answer that really got me.
snail takes this many years to go a mile. I move this many miles away. And then I just have to time out when I move.
Yeah.
Can the snail take an
Tra-
airplane?
transportation.
Yeah, I know. The snail is on a horse. I'm like, fuck, snail. You didn't say anything about
As time goes on, it just gets
Yeah.
smarter and smarter with his transportation.
what, air tag.
All right, so you haven't even thought about this in so long.
Probably.
Tiger King.
Right.
There was an update. There was some news.
Dude, I heard, is the lady dead?
No. Her husband that everyone thought that she killed and fed to a tiger
Yeah.
is apparently alive in Costa Rica.
Wow.
At least that's what I have bookmarked.
What's her name?
Oh,
Sue McFadden?
Baggins? Carole Baskin. Remember there was a rap song again. Thing.
Carole Baskin.
Hold on, let's see if there's an update. Carole Baskin.
That was a crazy
husband.
time, man. Beginning of the
That was
pandemic.
beginning of pandemic.
What
Yeah.
white trash raising tigers in Texas?
Dude,
That was messed up.
so good.
Great documentary or whatever.
Uh,
Documentary.
Carole Baskin went to missing husband Don Lewis' office in search for. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. In search for a clue that he's still alive after shocking claim. Oh, she's claiming this? Recently paid a visit to the office of her long assumed dead husband's lawyer
Yeah.
in search of a document that supposedly says he's alive and living in Costa Rica.
All right, so nothing confirmed yet.
Nothing confirmed. No.
All right. You know what the funny thing is? I think she's one of
She's rich, eh? 5 million.
she's one of the highest earners on that app where you can get people to like wish somebody a happy birthday.
Right.
Or
Like
whatever.
Cameo or whatever.
My company used her, my last company.
What?
Yeah.
She's a murder
She's a
suspect.
murderer is what immediately somebody wrote in the chat as she was like, I'm wishing Pat Snap a great sales kickoff. Somebody was like,
How dare they?
Yeah, I think the HR person is in Scotland, and all they know is this lady is big on this show that is like she never watched the show.
Oh my god, dude.
But yeah. Also, she just assumed that all of these celebrities, none of them are murderers. You know?
I mean, fair.
If you get all these celebrities and
Right.
you just look at what shows they were on,
Yeah.
you wouldn't assume any of them are murderers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right? Like, why would they be allowed out here doing this thing? Right? How is it that this lady's like winking at a cat? Like sometimes when she's interacting with tigers, it's kind of like, is she like sending like a sneak diss that that she knows what she did to her husband,
I know.
or she knows what happened to her husband?
Freaking murderer.
Dude, that's insane that they had it on. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
pretty affordable. It's like $200.
Yeah, of course.
She's sitting at home.
Making so much money.
Hello.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time it's great. She's monetizing the fact that she herself is a meme. She's just leaning into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's weird, eh?
Who's volunteering at these?
Yo, dude.
Yeah.
Is what's his name on it? That'd be crazy.
No. That'd be
O.J.
crazy.
Simpson.
No. I don't think they let OJ, because OJ actually killed. He's like convicted of killing somebody.
No, he's not. He got off. That was the whole big thing about OJ.
Really?
Yeah. He
No,
was.
no.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must quit.
No, I think they got him. I mean, they had, I think it was there was a civil one and another one, and I think they got him.
They got him.
Yeah. I don't know. You have a phone, bro. Why are
Yeah.
you looking at me?
No,
I'm not gonna solve this talking to you.
He's 75 years old.
right,
He was
bro.
acquitted of the murders in criminal court,
Yeah.
but was later found responsible for both deaths in a civil trial.
Right.
So he only did like civil time as opposed to an actual.
Yeah, but you still go to when you're in prison, you're like, it's just civil time. It's nice and breezy in civil time. No, man, it's still prison. You're still O.J. Simpson in prison.
Okay, wait. But then he got out really like okay. So he culminated after 1995, where the jury rendered a verdict not guilty. An estimated 100 million people watched it worldwide.
That was 95, yeah, and then they
Yeah.
got him. When less people were watching, they got him.
Yeah, wrongful death civil trial.
Mm-hmm.
That happened in 1997.
Not even that long ago, man.
No, in 1999, auction. Okay, was ordered to pay. Yeah, okay. So he, in 1997, a civil jury unanimously found Simpson liable for the wrongful death and battery against the two people.
Right.
He was ordered to pay 33 million in damages. In 1999, he auctioned his Heisman Trophy, netting 500,000.
That's sad.
The Goldman family tried to collect Simpson's $28,000 monthly pension, but failed to collect the money. So I guess he didn't go to jail. He just got that's what it is, civil. So he just had to pay 33 million.
And that's
a lot of
why
money.
he's not on that
I mean,
app.
I guess, but
Because he's been convicted as a murderer.
I guess.
How? You just read everything to me, so how do you guess? You just read it, bro.
I think they really make a big difference between civil trial and actual murder
Bro,
trial.
a judge says you're guilty of murder. Who are you trying to
What-
get OJ married
what-
to? Like,
Why is there two? Why is there two things?
so
What I'm
you
trying
can
to-
you can have one judge. I don't even want to explain it. You know he's guilty. They said it. You just read it to me.
I'm not saying he's not guilty.
Right.
All I'm saying is that
Because
if
there was
Car-
different evidence that was taken into account in one compared to.
okay.
I don't know actually. Now you got me lying to get OJ in prison. I'm from Houston. OJ's innocent. No. You know what? A lot of people in Houston thought OJ was innocent.
really. I mean,
You
what do
just
they go?
feel like-
What do they go on?
I'll tell you. The police footage of police, just arresting and beating up black men all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
then after that, nothing. After
Yeah.
that, after that, he looks very guilty.
It does look very guilty.
It's all, the funniest part to me was when they were like, they would go anything racial on him. He's like, I don't even see race.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, it's only the 90s, I think. And yeah, that guy,
You wrote a book. If I did it.
yeah, something. I think basically, I think the title was actually even more incriminating than that. I think the word "if" was like this big, tiny, and I did it was like in bold.
Yeah. Oh, dude, here it is. The book is originally titled "If I Did It." The book was renamed "If I Did It: Confessions of a Killer,"
Holy cow!
with the word "if" reduced in size to
Oh
such an
my
extent
God.
that it appears within the width of the large red I in the title, making the
Oh
title
my
appear
God.
"I Did It: Confessions of a Killer."
Who's this publicist? Me? Like that is a bad idea.
In addition, material was added by members of the Goldman family, investigative journalist Dominic Dunn, and author whatever. Okay, wrongful death.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. It's just fascinating. I didn't know. I should probably watch that documentary or that show. It wasn't there an HBO show on him.
I think Cuba Gooding Jr. played him. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think I should watch that.
Yeah, there's good YouTube breakdowns, dude. There's like friggin' serial level
Yeah,
breakdowns
yeah,
of what
yeah,
happened
yeah.
with OJ.
Yeah.
That was covered so
get-
frantically.
Yeah.
It was on in my middle school. We would watch it.
Yeah.
A trial about this football player killing his girlfriend. We would watch it in middle school.
Yeah.
They would let us.
Such a cultural impact.
Hey man, we're like grown ass kids over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like sometimes you got to know how the thing works.
How much time? We got a double date, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we do. But we
got
only
some time.
We got
No, it's going well.
We got
Keep it
some time. We
going.
got some time.
I like those.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is not. So there's this guy who recently was arrested for perhaps
Careful.
killing his wife and something else. I forgot.
And
I forgot
something
who.
else.
And someone else.
Jeez,
like
someone
I think
else.
maybe
Okay,
his kids,
that's
right?
better.
And and the way how they got him,
Yeah.
right, is that they checked his search history. This guy doesn't know about NordVPN. He doesn't know how to clear his cookies. And this was his search history.
Who's saying this?
What's that?
Who's saying this?
This is like a I think a lawyer reading
Okay.
his search history back to him in court.
Got it.
All right.
At 4:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before a body starts to smell. And at 4:58 a.m., how to stop a body from decomposing. At 5:20 a.m., he searched how to embalm a body. At 5:47 a.m., 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. At 6:25 a.m. on the 1st,
I think you have to
how
say
long
these, bro.
will someone be
This-
missing?
You
Oh, you
can't
can't hear
understand. No. If I close my eyes, I
Okay.
can't understand what she's saying.
All right. Here we go.
If I'm reading it, I understand what she's saying.
Okay. All right. So the first question is, how long before a body starts to smell?
Nice.
That's at 4:55 a.m. 4:58. How to stop a body from decomposing? 5:20 a.m. How to bound a body?
It
Not too
says-
sure what that means. 5:47.
You don't know what
10
that-
ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. I don't know
If
who's
you
making.
really need to.
who's
If you
making-
really have to.
6:25. How long for someone to be missing for you to inherit?
Wow.
6:34. Can you throw away body parts?
Man.
9:29 a.m. What does formaldehyde do?
This is so funny. This guy's brain is the
How
best.
long does DNA last? 9:59. Can identification be made on partial remains?
Wow.
11:34. Dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body.
You can see what movies he didn't watch.
11:44. How do you clean blood from a wooden floor?
Hilarious.
11:58. Luminol to detect blood. What happens when you put body parts in ammonia?
I was going there first.
121. Is it better to throw crime scene clothes away or wash them?
Dude, this guy's the best. This guy is... How did he even kill somebody? He's obviously never thought about it a day in his life.
He's so bad at
Anybody with a bad boss has, thought some of these thoughts, right?
Yeah,
Or with
yeah.
like a bully even in middle school. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And the next time you watch anything, you're like, you can feed them to pigs. You just remember that. You can feed people to pigs and they eat anything. But, wow.
Yeah.
So he went to jail.
His wife, yeah,
He-
his wife was missing for a while,
Hmm.
and so I think he came up as a suspect, and then eventually they did some searching or whatnot, and they found all of these searches on his son's iPad.
Dang, man.
Yeah,
That's
maybe thinking that his son might take the rap.
No, I don't think that's how they do it. But
He's like, clearly the son is twisted.
no, I just think he didn't think about.
I think he didn't know how to clear search history.
Yeah. I don't think he was trying to pin it on his son because I don't think they would have been like,
I'm-
"Oh, the
I was
son
joking.
killed him." Oh, okay.
Just joking. Yeah, man, that guy. He's so ill prepared, though. You were absolutely
Those are the
right.
questions. But just like you should know the answer to some of them. Also, obviously incognito mode and how to clear stuff.
I mean,
but-
you should probably use a VPN if you're looking for that type of stuff.
yeah.
And the only other
This
time,
guy you think knows what a VPN is? That should have been. What is a VPN? Yeah, I wouldn't. Would you be surprised if that was a question on there?
I mean, yeah,
And then you could see where his brain is going. It's been trying to figure.
this guy's never downloaded a torrent before.
Never seen a good mob movie.
He's never watched a single season of CSI.
All right, so let's pause here. If I was to challenge you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What would be the somebody comes in through the window here,
Mhm.
and it's night, and you kill him, right?
Yeah.
And then you realize it's his neighbor you hate anyways,
Right,
But you know
right.
you killed him, and
Right,
now
right.
you've decided you got to
I
take
like
care of
this
this body.
thought exercise.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So like now you gotta, parents have gone to Mauritius for like 4 or 5 days. You gotta figure out what to do with this body,
Right.
right? So what do you do?
Uh,
Minimal Googling, but like if you need to Google like 3 things, you get 3 things.
I think I would go with Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Okay. Because they dissolve the body
Okay.
in acid. So that's where I would go.
You would Google basically like how do you
Just
dissolve?
no. The Googling
Yeah.
would just be not the fact I already have a VPN, but I would only go and watch that episode
Yeah.
because what's his name? He makes a mistake. Jesse makes a mistake
Right.
and gets the wrong container to put the body parts in. So essentially, the acid itself burns through the container and then through the floor.
Wow.
And so there's a specific material container that you need for you to be able to do the whole thing.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I would just go with Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I think that's I would yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah, you because look,
'Cause
they
the other
always
options-
they always you can dig up bones. That's
Mm-hmm.
the big problem, right? It's the fact that like if you can find, it's like that murder weapon. If you don't have a murder weapon, there's a lot in the case that doesn't work,
Right.
right? Because it's such a big part of linking killer to who he kills and how he did it. So yeah, you just that's how you do it. You
I
gotta
think
do
that's if you
Breaking
can
Bad.
make the body disappear, that's the best. 'Cause
Yeah.
burning's the only other option, really.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
And the whole episode's kind of built around that because they tell you what chemicals they're getting, what chemicals they have to buy. Like it's the whole like process of being able to do this problem.
funny if you're like a butcher and
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? I started making packages.
Yeah.
I give them to people,
Yeah.
and that's it. All my friends ate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a good position to get. I think if you need to. What did the mafia just put you in the river? The problem is that eventually you might break out of the chains and float. Then it's another problem.
Yeah, I don't know what they actually did. Obviously, you have those things where like they put somebody's legs in cement and dropped them off and the person would.
Yeah.
But they also did a lot of like chopping them up and feeding them to pigs. That's in
Oh,
a
yeah,
few
yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Someone
yeah.
owns an incinerator. Oh, freaking funeral home.
that seems like
Yeah, you own a funeral home,
If
so
you-
you just bring the body in and then
Yeah.
you incinerate it.
That's like the equivalent of people that have like a pizza oven in their backyard. I'm like, you must really like that's their like I love
Like
killing
Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Some people, that's their whole. I have a friend whose dad has a tandoor in her, and they make roti. They make like naan,
Yes.
fresh. I was
yeah.
like, dude,
And he's got the pillow. Does he take the pillow and slap it on the side?
I don't know, man. I just,
You know
the
what
one
the
I
pillow is,
saw,
right?
yeah, dude. I used to love. That was one of the first memories I have is going to get bread with my family members,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there's a dude dangerously going into an oven and
Into an
sticking
oven.
and coming out. And then the best is when they do yours take it out
Two
with
sticks.
sticks,
Two metal things.
and
yeah.
they're just flipping it. And that's you're like, oh my god, I want to be that when I grow up. you know?
Bro, in the 1990s, there was the only restaurant on Gerrard Street, Chandi Chok or whatever, Chandi Chok, I think, yeah. And they had a legitimate one too. That's the first time I witnessed them making naan.
That's the best, man.
Oh man,
That's our bread.
that is your bread.
No, that is our bread.
Oh, it's our bread. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, I know.
Still
It's
getting
tough.
used to
It's
the
tough.
fact that I come from Bihar.
You're so recently from Bihar that it's just like, dude, you just gotta.
I'm like a new Muslim convert.
just understand, just be like, yeah, that's where my. Since your parents aren't from there,
It's
because I think your grandparents were they?
no, not grandparents. You'd have to
Oh,
go
great-grand.
4 generations back.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
That's a couple of 100 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
What's your island bread? Like, is there a bread that's how some breads? Just
I mean,
take over?
we have honestly, the main bread
Yeah.
is baguettes and du pain maison. So
Sorry, man.
baguette and then du pain maison.
It's not even your bread, bro.
Yeah, it's the Frenchman.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, just in the Philippines. You ever go to Philippines? Everything is in.
That being said, our bread is crazy. You wake up,
Yeah.
you go to Fudger,
Right.
right? On your way back,
Yeah.
the white vans, the white vans that are kind of thin.
Mm.
They pull up at your local bakery, your local thing, and then they're offloading the fresh bread into the little store.
Oh man, that sounds.
You can
that feels
you can
nice.
smell it on your way back home. So when you wake up, you're like, I don't want to do fudger. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to do any of this stuff. I want to stay home. And then when you're coming back, you're already awake, and then you're smelling that bread. You just stop by, you buy bread,
Yeah.
you go home,
Eat some bread.
and you eat that with egg and their flour. The flour is, I'm realizing right now, is horrible for you.
Right.
But the butter, excuse me.
Yeah. Is butter bad for you?
The butter that they make, I think, is
Yeah.
not. It's like seed oil butter. It's like a weird thing.
I don't even
Is
know.
it sunflower seed butter?
I don't feel like sunflower should be food.
Yeah, maybe there's just a picture of a sunflower on the
Right.
on the tub of butter,
And inside
and
is
I'm
like
just
just
it's just regular
cow
butter.
bones.
Yeah, could be just regular butter. Yeah, no, we our regular. That's the regular bread.
What's it
it's
called
the
again?
French bread. So baguette is whatever. Everyone knows that. Pain maison is essentially just it looks like a burger bun but bigger.
Pain maison.
Du pain, which is bread, and
You
then
know what?
maison.
Agree to disagree. It's fine. I'm like, if I wasn't gonna get it with that one, I'm never gonna get it, bro.
And then paratas,
sounds
dal
nice.
puri, which is
Yeah, that's ours.
That's all. That's all. Your
I'm
stuff.
like, that's ours.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
all your
no,
stuff,
I
yeah.
get it. That's cool, man. You guys are. I like that.
Yeah, we're a mixture.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. Bunch of brown people eating,
with like a false superiority complex just because we speak French.
and that's just within. Yeah, it's just something you.
We didn't even inherit it. We were like, those are the people who were like owned, the legal documents to us. I
Yeah.
think we were indentured servants.
Yeah. It's interesting when people have a superiority complex about something that other people don't consider superior. That's the cool part. You're
Yeah.
like, we're the only ones with big ears. You know, it's like, all right, dude, just calm down, Dumbo drop. You know?
Mauritians have this this thing about not letting their house smell like food.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Damn, you guys don't. That's
Mauritians-
where you guys differ from us. You know?
Mauritians will cook food, obviously with spices and whatnot, but really they don't tolerate the after smell of the food.
Wow.
You got to cook the food, and before the people come over to your house to eat the food,
Yeah.
it shouldn't smell like the food that you cooked.
That's impressive. If you guys hold it down as a culture, that's pretty. I'm going up the stairs. I know floor 6 is where the Indians live.
Yeah.
I can smell it through the friggin' stairwell. I'm like, here it comes.
And because of that,
Yeah.
when Mauritians go into Indian households or Pakistani households, or if they were in that staircase, they would turn up their nose and they would be like malba,
Malbo.
which is I think it's so. I think it's. I don't know if it's a
It's-
derogatory
it's
term
such
for
a
brown
racial
people.
slur that Yassine can't even say it on.
Yeah,
Fashion
I don't think it's it's not a positive
The
term,
worst thing is the M word.
but I don't think it's it carries as
Malba.
much weight as thing. But yeah, they would say like malba,
Malbo.
and then you're smelling it like that's why their clothes smell. That's
Yeah.
why everything smells. Yeah, Mauritians with their clothes smell like food,
Right.
And then they go outside and their food. That's a big thing. That's a big faux pas.
You guys burp loudly?
No,
Because then, like, I lived in Saudi Arabia, and that's like almost a thing people do is burp loudly while eating.
I thought it was a compliment to the people who made the food.
I heard that from white people, so I don't fully trust
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
only
pretty
heard that
sure it was
from
a white
people.
movie
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
Arabs.
Oh yeah. It's just one guy who kind of made it, and he just probably flew off from there. But they burped. I'll say like I heard some. Maybe they got it from the same white guy, and they were like, "That's what we do." Okay.
We're gonna own it.
Yeah.
Burping Arab culture. Contrary to the West, where burping after a meal is considered rude, in Egypt, burping loudly after a meal is considered good dining etiquette and signifies your appreciation for the food that you've just eaten. In fact, burping is often considered the highest compliment a guest can pay the hosts on the food that is prepared by them.
Wow.
Okay, let me see if let's see another source. In Saudi Arabia, diners burp after eating to compliment the cook. In Hong Kong and Japan, loudly slurping your noodles demonstrate
heard
your
that.
enjoyment of the food. Literally, that is so delicious that you can't even wait until it cools off. I like this stuff.
Yeah. Imagine.
Also, who wants to eat? You can't eat noodles by like silently.
Yeah. But like, if you're trying to make it all like, that's what they like.
Yeah, they
So
want it
if
loud.
you're like your mom's South Korean, your dad's Egyptian,
Yeah,
it's
a loud kitchen, eh?
Pain in the ass to eat around. Burping and slurping, you're like Judith Abdullah, calm down.
Also, Judith is not Korean.
Sometimes I don't know. Maybe it is.
It might be, right?
Middle name's Kim. I don't know.
The thing is that those Asian cultures, they have like the Korean name and then they have a
Yeah, they both
white
they
name.
both do. I know there's
Yeah.
more than just 2 Asian cultures.
yeah
but
Chinese,
yeah.
Japanese, yeah.
Chinese, Japanese. I don't think
I
Japanese
don't think
people
Japanese do
they
it.
do
No,
that. I
no,
think
they don't
just
do
the
that.
Koreans and the Chinese.
Yeah. I wish they would stop that
Why?
because
How do you pronounce? XI.
I'm
or
open to learn.
NG.
I'm
Yeah?
open to
All right,
learn.
I'm with you.
Yeah, because
As-
here's the thing. If
yeah.
you, I don't want to like, because when I first started working, there was people who were at work, at the previous job I was at, they said, "Oh, we'll just call you Yoshi." They even labeled my computer Yoshi
Right.
instead of Yassine.
Right.
Because Yassine was too hard for them to say for some reason. And I was new into the thing. So I'm like, I'm not going to, this is not a hill that I need to die on.
Right.
I'm just trying to get by here. Right. So it is what it is. And then eventually it just switched back over to Yassine. But what I'm trying to get at is like, I don't like changing my name. Right. This is how I'm called. All my friends call me this. My parents call me this. You say the name. Right. So these Asian folks, they get to hear their name being said at home. And then when they're out, they're like, just call me Kenneth. I'm like, come on, everyone can learn.
I want you to do that. Next time somebody goes like, my name's Charlie. He's like, tell me your real name. And just start trying to guess it until they kick you out of the group. It's interesting, though.
The only other Korean name I know is the Korean Zombie.
I don't think that's his real name.
Shit.
But only Korean name I know is the Korean Zombie. I don't think either one of those is a name. And I don't know how you got here so quickly.
UFC fighter.
The people, calm down, man. I'm trying to explain and come back to some level of dignity. All right? You are what you are right now. That's what you are for the rest of this podcast.
Hey, man, you got to
don't stop. I got to talk a little bit more. All right. You can change the subject. But I'll say this. I wonder, like, because obviously our parents never thought we'll just change their name.
Yeah.
And culturally, I don't think that was ever. We have this
You didn't feel
thing
like it was
about
an
our
option?
names. Well, our names are our names. Like, their names have meaning that is like important, way past where we are. You know, like where you're located geographically, that's your name for the most part. That's how people look at it. But other places are like, we got to get these kids assimilated. You know, and this is a hard name.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's changing now, or people are like, no, we're gonna like you go. That's your Chinese name. That's your name now. Don't even try to be, you know.
Maybe it was because there's a lot of Chinese people during when it was frontier times over here, right? I think that was where the influx of Chinese people came in during the time of what was it? So like cowboys' time, right? When they're making railways, and that was the whole thing about them.
I like you're like a middle schooler's timeline. Cowboys' time, right? All right. You know, it's just like
shit. I'm horrible at dates.
Horses, right? Yeah. Horses were cars then? Go. I know when you're talking about.
And so, the story would go that they would just hand a Chinese person nitroglycerin, which even if with a little jiggle, this thing could blow up. And then they just send them into the tunnel that they're building for the railway, for the train to go through. And then if he dies on the way there, it's whatever, because it's a Chinaman. That's what they thought. And then eventually they were just using them for that type of work. So I'm wondering, during that time, they all had names, and back then they really didn't care about your culture whatsoever. Obviously, the way how they were using them, that maybe that's when it started making you if you go to North America, you have two names.
If you go to Italy, you're like, nope, you're Dong. That's your name. I wonder if they would like go to Italy and be like, I'm Antonio, right?
Right, yeah.
Or they go to Pakistan because there's a border.
Is it always like North American type names?
Maybe.
Or do
we
they
haven't
just
had
change it up
we hadn't had a
everywhere they
guest
go?
in a minute, but we hadn't had somebody from China either. We can have Leonard or whatever his real name is. You know?
Yeah. Isn't it Leonard Chan?
Yeah, but it may
And
not
his
be
wife is
Leonard. It
Jackie.
might, well, that's whatever. But like Leonard's I don't know what his Chinese name is.
Right. There's got to be one, right?
Maybe.
Or did they lean so hard that they just did away of
Well, that
the
makes more sense.
ethnic name, and they just kept on going with whatever the North
The two
American
names is weird. I understand one name,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the two names is interesting.
It is interesting.
I have a island friend. He's from I forget Trinidad, and he has a Jamaica, and he's a yard name and a home name, and like his
Is a yard name like the neighborhood?
it's just the outdoor name, and the home name was something different, and his yard name was Nixon, and his home name was like I forgot,
Okay.
and that in the home they called him that, and outside he was called Nixon, and I was like, that is confusing.
Okay. Yeah. And it's not like to do with like street life.
I don't think so.
All right.
I
Because
have
50
no
Cent's got
idea.
a 50 Cent.
I don't think his parents gave him a gang name. They're like, you're two shots. Get out of there. Outside, you're Nixon.
Yeah. Okay. Curtis Jackson versus 50 Cent, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, okay. Maybe it's not that.
It's not that.
It's not that. A yard name. Hold on. Let's find out. I know it's not that, but it's just, I was just trying to make some
You got other stuff on your list?
yard name versus home name. Enter. What is a yard name? Ancestors of yard surname live amongst the... Okay, that's too much.
That's too much. That's all right.
Yeah, I thought I had one more thing over here.
That's
Let's see.
Are we going to a French restaurant?
I think so. No, we're going to an Italian restaurant.
Oh, good.
Why?
What? Look at me. What? The French have good food?
Yeah, I think that.
No. Out of my face, the French don't have good food.
I think the French have good
Just
food.
boiling fish.
No, the French. The French aren't the French.
Yeah, they're one of
the maid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I went to France, wasn't impressed. Italians, that's
right.
the best food, dude. That's one of the. There's a lot of best foods. Mexican,
Yeah.
Japanese,
Yeah.
Honestly, Indian food is like there's so much variety.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about the French, but Italian food is way up there.
Mm.
They've
Yeah,
got
they
the
became-
pizza.
they
They got
became-
so many different types of pastas.
They're
and
the
stuff.
standard cuisine.
Meats. They rock meats.
Yeah, they're like white people, right? You know
Go
how,
on, go on, Yassine.
So you know how they consider like white
You're
people
on a
the
roll
standard?
today, homie.
You know how they consider white people standard, right?
Yeah.
So when you have like your like a Band-Aid, it's the color of white people.
Mhm.
Cuisine, if you don't specify the cuisine, is Italian cuisine, right? You can count on pasta being on every menu.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Almost every menu, unless you're going to like a specific, not like a specific cultural place, cultural food.
Because Italians don't. They're obviously white, but like they don't consider themselves white.
No.
They're like, no, that's like
Yeah.
the British and all these like Russianish.
Yeah.
We're Mediterranean.
Yeah. They have
Portuguese
they have-
people too.
They have pride in their culture. You can
Yeah.
respect that.
I could kind of.
Why not?
Called me Indian all my life. That's why not. Like you don't get to. I'm
What
Indian.
specifically Italians?
I was like, sometimes you look hella white. You know, that's how.
No.
everybody
It's like
sees you.
like a bunch of Italians calling you Indian.
Yeah, because like nobody makes a distinction when you're in Texas.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the thing is that you grew up and everyone thought you were Indian.
Yeah, or Mexican.
I grew up and everyone thought I was Pakistani.
Yeah, because
You know,
you're only so far removed from that. That's why.
And so are you.
What do you mean?
Well, you came from Bihar, which was India,
Right?
right? And I came from Bihar in India. Basically what I'm saying is that they called you Indian, and you're like you're only so far away from.
I agree,
whatever.
and
then
that's why they're
Pakistani.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what, like, is there a Pakistani boy that's living in Mauritius? And he's like, they always thought I was Mauritian. I'm
So
Pakistani.
funny. I find it so interesting how how short of a time you have to be somewhere to feel like you're from there.
You're from the place, yeah.
Yeah, because that's just a young person thing. You relate so much to the land you're in and from.
Yeah.
Even no matter how good or bad it is. Like when I was in Houston, I was like, wow, I rep these streets, and you have these fond memories,
Yeah.
and it's such a big thing. Like
Now
where you
you're
grow up-
Saga Men's?
No, it's not. Just because now I fully understand that all of it is just temporary, but it's like music. When you're, shown certain things at certain times, it becomes like a very
This is the
important,
most
vibrating
important thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Music, certain movies, but like, yeah, when you're young and growing up in a place of your stomping grounds, you just love it, even though it's just
Yeah.
you're like, this is what place made me, but it's just some shitty place. But you're like, this is what holds me up.
Yeah.
Any place that you would be, you would almost feel like it's holding.
It's funny because I don't know if I feel that same type of connection with Mississauga because I spent most of my childhood inside. Right? There is no there is no hood for me. There is no
I think
nothing.
that matters.
Yeah.
because all my stuff is riding my bicycle around
Yeah.
and like, but yeah,
Yeah. My boundaries for bicycles were tight.
yeah.
It's within the field of view of the front window of the house.
So that's the thing is like when you have that, and that's what so many kids did over the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Mhm.
So it's just like, how does that change what patriotism, your thought of like how much you love your place, or do you stay there after you graduate? All that stuff is going to be
Right?
very
Yeah.
interesting.
It is going to be interesting.
So, all right.
Anyway, people, this has been episode 376. We'll be back in a week. Thank you for hanging with us. We love you all. Take care. Good night.
Yo. Crash and flow. Crash and flow. Crash and flow.